Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back
Third
again.
time is the charm. I think it sounds like, based on what Chad is saying, we may have fixed it. Now, up to this point, what's been happening is this.
I think it sounds like
Our stream's audio has been losing its winged light. What we want to try to do is get our stream audio to do this. What a great noise, right? That's what we want for our stream audio. What we want to try to do is get our Great. If that was in Kanji, now shimashita, I would have recognized that. I know it now, Sue. Okay, we have it fixed. Reika, real quick before we get into the challenge, you want to just give a quick recap on how the game works.
Yes. So we're going to have 10 images from Sky, and Robert is going to try to remember what they're called in Japanese. Yes. And we will play different sounds depending on whether or not he gets a question right, wrong, and if he does get them all right, we'll play a special sound at the end. And they all relate to your wing planes.
Yeah, so we just played some noises. Ritsu, you want to go ahead and tell the Japanese players?
いや、日本のスカイコミュニティチームが厳選した10個の問題を、ロバートに出します。ロバートは、その10個のスカイに登場する何かが日本語で何というか、果たして覚えているかどうかを、チェックします。そして見事正解した場合には、果たして覚えているね、とても嬉しい音が鳴ります。そして残念ながら正解だった場合にはこの光の翼がなくなってしまいます。ロバートが。ただロバートが10問もし全問正解した場合はこの光の翼がなくなってしまいます。ロバートが。ただロバートのケープがレベルアップします。ぜひロバートのケープがレベルアップするように祈ってましょう。
Okay, before we get into it, predictions. Out of 10, how many questions am I going to get correct? Reika, we'll start with you.
やっぱり全問正解してほしいですね。I hope you get them. I hope you get them all correct.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Yeah. Hey, Reed?
It's gonna be kind of selfish answer, but I tried this question, this quiz by myself, and I got 9 out of 10. So I missed one of them. So hopefully 8 or 7 something.
I know. This is now a referendum on whether or not I am smarter than Reed.
Sorry. So the tech guy is saying like the audio is looping between the YouTube.
Whether or not I am smart. Yep. Okay. I found out the issue. Yep. It's hopefully should be fixed now. Okay. We're like learning all the audio issues someone can have in a stream, but we should be fixed now. So we'll go ahead and try with question number 1. All right, are we ready?
Okay. Finally,
we can get
question
started.
number 1.
Hajimemashou. All right, question number 1. All right. I think this one is an easier one. I think like if you can just go to like the Sky Japan Twitter to know this. So this is Sky Hoshi o Tsumugu Kodomotachi.
Wow. 正解です。
Play the sound. Yeah.
You get one wing right.
Excellent.
です。
That's the one I'm going to get this straight.
そうですね。これはスカイチルドレンオブザライトというのがスカイの元々の英語のタイトル、サブタイトルになります。日本語では星を紡ぐ子供たち。紡ぐってちょっと言いづらいですけど、すごい綺麗に言えてましたね。
はい。
Your pronunciation for the 紡ぐ was really smooth and clear.
I really think Japanese, like one of the coolest things about learning it is how easy most of the pronunciation is compared to English. Like if you think about some words in English, right? I think English as a second language must be like really difficult.
For the pronounce?
Yeah, for pronunciation.
Yeah, okay.
Japanese, like I feel like most things are like pretty straightforward.
Oh,
you
just raising the expectation now for the next
question. That's not a guarantee I will remember anything. All right.
日本語は発音は結構自信があるというふうに言っているので、次の問題でどういうふうに発音するか厳しくチェックしましょう。
はい。
Okay.
Next question.
Question number 2. Return shrine. Okay. Maimodori no Zou.
これも正解です。おめでとうございます。
You got 2 points.
Sugoi.
Sugoi.
Yeah, that's like one of 3 Japanese words I actually know how to use correctly. Sugoi. Yeah, I think so. One of the things that's interesting about that particular Maimodori no Zou is if you see it written out, the kanji really helps you remember, right? Because you can see the kanji for return. right? So like modoru, to
Modoru,
return.
yeah.
Zo is statue.
Statue,
Yeah.
shrine, statue.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Mai kind of throws the curveball in there, but if you recognize the other two kanji, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Great.
見事正解しました。
Okay.
次に行きましょ
Number 3. Days of Sunlight. Okay. This is another one where I think the kanji helps. So, Yoko no Hibi. Yoko no Hibi.
う。ギリギリセーフで
ギリギリ
正解にしましょう。
セーフです。
All right.
答えは陽光の日々でした。
Right. So if you again like if you see this written out, I know you see it's like the kanji for sunshine and then the kanji for light. So it's the same kanji.
Yeah.
The second kanji in the first word is the same as the one for Nikko, right? The city.
Nikko, the onsen city, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it also
the city
yeah, it has
famous for
like the
hot
sunlight
springs, yeah.
or bright. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't think is Hikari the same kanji.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Ko.
Ko.
Actually, the Yoko, those two characters means the sunlight. Sunlight.
This was supposed to be a funny stream. I think it's rapidly becoming educational, and I'm, like hopefully that works for you all. But yeah, I think like learning languages that have kanji in them, it's fun because the pictures kind of help tell the story, and it makes it easier to remember. Like there's little like stories in your head.
Have you heard that the Japanese version of the Days of Sunlight?
No, in fact, I play this game in English, so there's a lot. I had to study
Yeah.
for this stream.
Yeah.
I had to cram.
今の質問は陽光の日々って知ってましたかっていうのを。
はい、私はね、このスカイは英語で遊んでいるので、日
今初めて
本語の
聞いたんです。
はい、ここ先日、陽光の日々って初めて知りました。
なんかすごくあまり普段使う言葉ではない。It's not so common word to use in the normal life, but it sounds very poetic and beautiful word.
Right.
You can see in the novel or yeah, like that. So.
And I think that's something I've really appreciated in actually doing this challenge is how much when the localization team takes these like at times primarily English names and localizes them. There's a lot of poetry, right? Because certainly like as we go through this, we'll see other ones where like my first thought was like, how does this make sense? And then it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of more like a aspirational poetic interpretation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
日本語でも陽光ってそんなに普段使う言葉ではないと思うんですが、そのサンライトを日光とか日差しっていう風に言う言い方の方が普通かなと思うんですけども、それを陽光と訳したそのローカライズチームのそのスカイの世界観をその日本語とかいろいろな言葉で表現しようとするところの工夫がそこにも見れるなっていうところを今ロバートが話してましたね。
はい。
All right.
Okay, next question.
Question number 4. Campfire tent.
It's a little bit tricky question, but
I think the pronunciation on this one is tricky, but so for those who've never studied Japanese, when you start studying, there's hiragana, katakana, and then kanji. And kanji is always the really scary one. I actually think katakana is scarier. Like it's like more difficult to remember for me, but
oh, interesting.
Just remembering the letters?
well, so some of them look kind of similar.
Yes.
And I feel like kanji, because so many of them are like kind of it's like a pictographic language. Oftentimes it's like easier to remember because it's shaped like something versus
Yeah, each
like
has a meaning, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one I believe is, and I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation. Campfire tento. Campfire tento.
Okay.
Okay,
はい
close
一応
enough.
正
Close
解と
enough.
します。少し英語は混ざってますよね。
そうですね。日本語で何というかっていう問題に対してちょっと意地悪かなっていう気もするんですけれども、陽光の日々に登場したこの新アイテム、キャンプファイヤーテントは英語でも日本語でもキャンプファイヤーテントです。ただちょっと発音が違うので、ロバートが綺麗に発音してくれましたね、今は。合格ですか、発音は。
合格とします。
Okay,
合
so
格です。
she said his pronunciation is meet the bar.
That's what we
Met
go
the
for.
bar.
Yeah, I technically made it. All right. With that momentum, we'll go into question number 5.
Number 5.
Baby jellyfish. All right, this one is actually, I find this tricky. So I believe it's kurage no akachan.
はい、これはもう見事に
It's so
正
similar.
解です。
It's so similar to karage, and I'm a huge karage
Karage.
fan. So now I'm thinking of like baby jellyfish as karage, which is terrible because they're so cute, right? Like we don't we don't want to eat baby jellyfish, but like I think like kurage, karage, right? It's similar enough.
Do you know what does it mean, the karage in English? What's the...
Karage is like fried food, isn't it? It's not
Right.
just, but it's not just fried chicken, but primarily it ends up being fried chicken.
Mostly fried chicken.
Yeah, but I think it has other applications.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I love karage. Karage が大好きです。
似てますね。
ちょっとこれも少し難しい問題だったかなと思うんですけれども、見事正解しました。ただロバートは、クラゲ、ジェリーフィッシュ、クラゲと唐揚げ、フライチキンですね。唐揚げがすごくその迷って覚えどっちがどっちだかすごくいつも分からなくなるそうなので、唐揚げの赤ちゃんって言わなくてよかったなと思います。
本当に唐揚げの赤ちゃんは。
And now I really just want karage. I haven't had lunch yet. This quiz is making me hungry. What's the little
We can
remote
get karage
we
for
have?
dinner
Did you
today.
get the lunch?
No, so I actually off screen have a bento waiting for me
Wow.
that we can all see.
So hopefully there is the karage inside the lunchbox.
Yeah, come on, karage. All right, question
Next
number 6 to get my mind off food. Void of shattering. Okay, this one was a tough one.
It's way far from the food.
Okay.
これは
砕ける闇の劇。
One more. Once more.
惜しい。もう一回。
もう一度。砕ける。砕ける。
砕ける。
砕ける。
Are you saying クラゲ?
No,
砕ける。
砕ける闇の劇。闇の劇。No, it's fine.
残念です。正解は砕ける闇のうつろ
Correct.
です。
正解です。
What is it?
うつろ。
うつろ。
The void
はい。
is うつろ。
これは
In Japanese.
個人的にも難しいと思いました。
All right, well,
これは一番難しいですね。
はい。
this is why I set the expectations so low. Like, まだ上手じゃない。
Well, I believe this is one of the most difficult questions. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I haven't seen the next questions, but but this is going to be the most difficult question.
All right,
Even
so-
in the Japanese,
Yeah.
うつろ means void.
Oh, that's just literally just void.
Void.
うつろ
Yeah, うつろ is very difficult word. We don't use normally, but
Yeah.
only for the novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just move on. Let's just go to question number 7. Okay, dark crab. Let's see.
This is a little straightforward. I believe it.
Yami no kani.
Ah.
Yami no kani.
正解です。
There we go. Let's get this noise again. I like this noise. It's a good noise. This Yami no kani. I learned over the course of this. I really learned what Yami was, and I think so. Like, I've never watched Death Note, but I think there is a character
Death
in it
Note.
named Yami.
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 And I think that so darkness. So I learned a lot about darkness.
Oh, so I think you are learning Japanese a lot from the anime, manga.
Some, yeah, but not Death Note. I just skipped out on that one. So like I think because one character's named Darkness and one character's named Light. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've never.
Light and darkness.
Right. So
Yeah.
I've never read the manga. I've never. But if I had, I'd probably be much better at this challenge. So.
ダーククラブ闇の蚊に見事正解しました。
Yeah.
日本の漫画でですね、デスノートという漫画で
はい
ちょっとその、記憶にあったということでした
はい
ね。
登場する人物が闇というキャラクターが出てくるので見ておけばよかったなとちょっと思ってるらしいです。
So is it an exaggeration to say if you want to learn Japanese better, you should read manga and watch anime? Is that something that seems fair to you all?
Yeah.
You're like, no, I don't want to say that.
Yes, but actually I'm learning English a lot from the video games or film
Yeah.
or so I think that is one of the most efficient way to learn
Yeah.
foreign languages.
I will say, yeah, in the two-ish years I've known you, I definitely feel like your English is a lot stronger these days. Like, you could always speak English, but, like, your English is a lot, like, more fluid. So I guess, like, the key is just watching a lot of TV. Don't study, watch TV. That's definitely not what Reed said. Please study if you want to learn a language.
Okay, go next.
Yep, question number 8. All right, message crane. So the message part is easy. Messagey.
Message.
Messagey.
Well,
Messagey.
it's a little bit also tricky question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Messagey. Oritsuru.
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 Uh,
Oritsuru. What? That's what? No. Okay. Don't.
No. I want to give you very gratitude, generous.
Thank you. That you're very.
I think your translation is correct, but in game Sky, we are calling it like a message board crane, message board Orizuru, because this is the name of the.
This was so hard. This was such a hard challenge.
That's why I gave you the.
Thank you. No, it's very
great-
generous,
great
Ritsu.
noise.
Ritsu Sensei.
Great noise.
But this challenge was so difficult. You all are so
Yeah.
poetic in how you
Yeah,
localize
please blame to the Japan Sky.
Yeah,
sorry.
Somewhere I can feel
Japan
Kie
team.
cackling.
Yeah.
Kie is cackling.
そうですね、おまけで正解ということです。
はい
ゲームの中では、魔法ですね、魔法の名前としてメッセージボート折り鶴という名前の魔法にはなっていますが、まあメッセージ折り鶴でも正解でいいかなという。
折り鶴が一番難しい
折り鶴が
ので、そこ
折り鶴が
を正解したのが
Uh,
すごいですね。
So
すごいです。
すごい。
すごい。
すごい。Thank you.
please tell that in English.
Yes, so the hardest part of this word is orizuru, which
Yep.
means
Crane.
folded crane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Reese has generously awarded you a point
Well,
because
it has-
you got the most difficult part.
The zuru, it's like the
Tsuru.
TSU with the rendaku, so it's like z.
Zuru.
That's always like a weird one. I don't hear that a lot, so I go to zuru.
Yeah, it's going to be
Oritsuru.
very technical explanation, but the creature, the bird is the
Called
crane is
tsuru.
Tsuru.
Tsuru. And then
Tsuru.
ori for origami.
Yeah, but origami is from origami, and then if
Yeah.
combines into the one word, tsuru becomes zuru.
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 Same
Yeah,
with
this-
origami as well. Paper is kami,
Yeah.
and then folded paper becomes origami, right?
If you ever start learning Japanese, you're going to learn to really fear the rendaku. You're going to be like, why? Why does this sound different? But yeah, thanks for the explanation. Like, I really feel like I'm learning a lot. Again, I hope you are enjoying what is now a very educational stream. But we'll get into question
Hopefully
number
you are
9 here.
enjoying.
Hopefully.
you are enjoying.
Elder of the Forest. So this one's interesting. So Urin is rain and forest
Uh-huh.
kanji. But when I think of rainforest, I think of like the Amazon, right? Versus like
Amazon.
hidden forest is like very like there's not snakes and tigers, so it's like I don't think that's a
No.
rainforest. But Urin no daisere?
はい。おめでとうございます。ウリの大精霊です。
Yeah, this was really fun. Actually, I did not know this one, and I know rainforest elder is a very popular elder. But again, it's like rainforest and then like great spirit, right? It's kind of like what if as it's someone who primarily speaks English, if I'm trying to understand kind of what it comes out to in Japanese, that's about like my approximation, and I thought that was really cool. Like elder kind of means like one thing in my head, right? And like rainforest means one thing in my head, but then you put it in another language, and it's something that kind of sounds a little different.
そうですね。ウリンっていう言葉と大精霊っていう言葉それぞれは覚えていてもそれが一つに合体すると何か違う言葉のように感じたりするのでちょっと思い出すのが難しかったってことですかね。
はい。あとなんか英語ともちょっとね意味が違うっていう感じもありますよね。
そうですね。フォレストそのものにはそのウリンの雨の意味はないレインフォレスト
アマゾンを思い出すって言っ
っていうふうに
てるんですよ。やっぱりヘビとかがいないので
そう
ウリンなんですね。
そうですね。レインフォレストって英語で言うとそのアマゾンとかのようなイメージがちょっとあるのかもしれないですね。でも見事正解です。Congrats.
All right, last question.
Last question.
最後の質問。
Yeah.
最後の質問。All right, season of belonging. Now,
Oh, my favorite season.
I mentioned like the poetic aspect of some of the localization can like trip me up a bit. This
Yeah.
one I definitely did not think. I actually had to go back and some backstory. I had to go and like look on Sky Twitter from a date range of like 2019 to 2020. and then use the kanji for season, so kisetsu, with this Japanese hashtag that you all use for most of your content. And I had to like look until I found one with grandma, and I was like, okay, so this absolutely is. But omoi amu o kisetsu?
Say it again.
Omoi o amu kisetsu. Yeah.
Hai, seikai desu.
All right,
Thank you.
Congrats.
So, Ritsu, before you do the translation, Reika as well, so this is omoi thought, amu knitting season. Thought knitting season. What does that mean?
Our localization team tried to convey the not the exact meaning. So the belongings is one of, I think from my perspective, one of the very toughest words to translate in Japanese. So we, instead of the literal translation, we try to convey the emotion aspect of this season. So in this season, there is the spirit looks like a grandma, and this is the season is kind of about the story of the family
family coming together and
so
being reunited.
We try to express because someone is thinking the other person. So they are trying to gift something by knitting or weaving something and then gifting to the other people.
Understood.
Yep.
Oh,
そうですね。ビロンギングという言葉はすごく日本語に置き換えるのが難しい単語で、どう翻訳しても綺麗なそのスカイの季節名にはならなかったので、文字通りの翻訳ではなくて、その季節の感情体験を、季節名に表現するためにすごく試行錯誤しました。それでそのおばあちゃん的な存在の精霊が登場するので、そのおばあちゃんの精霊が思いを込めて編み物をしてそれをプレゼントしている様を、季節の中に表すことで、そのビロンギングスってなんて訳せばいいんですかね。なんかつながりと、つながりじゃないですね。なんか
難しいですよね、これは。
貴族意識みたいな意味になるんですけども、それをそのイメージを伝わるような翻訳にしようと試行錯誤したのがこの季節名になります。
なんか居場所ですかね。
居場所と
帰る場所。
帰る場所。
それもちょっと違うんですよね。
Explain the belongings in Japanese. Somewhere to return, to go back to.
Yeah. It's really cool. Like I get geeked out about languages, right? Like I just think it's fun to learn.
個人的には思い合う季節、タイトルも含めて私この季節一番大好きです。That's my favorite season.
I think it's a lot of people's favorites.
I don't know, maybe, but I love this Japanese translation as well. That's probably one of the reasons why I love this.
I get it. I feel like if you know all the thought that went into it, right? Like it's like easy to understand like why people like it and then like it yourself. Yeah, that's really cool. Okay,
so
9 out of 10. I am as smart as Ritsu. I am neither more nor less smart than Ritsu. We are equally smart. So Ritsu is a very smart guy, so I feel good about that. Reika couldn't quite get 10 out of 10.
But
man, I still have the sound.
Yes.
My Japanese is leveled up.
You got a level up.
日本語レベルアップです。
Yeah.
日本語レベルアップです。Level 2.
And I think it's great because this is some very practical Japanese. Like the next time I'm in a Lawson's checking out, I'm going to be like,
Moyo kisetsu,
right? And the person's going to look at me and be like, would you like a bag? Yeah, but in all seriousness, I think when learning a language, it's fun to kind of learn some stuff that's maybe like not just strictly like how do you buy a train ticket or like how do you buy umeboshi onigiri. It's cool to learn a little bit more of the poetry of it. So, and I think like that's really like one of the stronger parts of Sky as an experience, right? Is throughout the world we have so many different people playing from different places that you kind of oftentimes when you first meet with someone, they interact with you in a language you don't actually know immediately, and you kind of have to go from there. Reika, do you have maybe any stories or any anecdotes about like meeting up with players in the game and them speaking different languages and then like you having to like find a way to communicate with them?
Not quite yet.
Yeah. I feel like I put you on the spot with that.
A little bit, but there is one maybe this is something that you can relate to, but there is one experience I had really early on when we were still in beta, and it was my birthday, and I hopped on Sky after midnight, and I started playing Happy Birthday on the piano, and there was a stranger right next to me. Back then, I didn't know that if you open up an instrument next to someone playing an instrument, you get to see which keys they're pressing. So, without words, I figured out this person learned how to play Happy Birthday from me playing Happy Birthday. So I had a stranger celebrating my birthday on my birthday, and neither of us knew what was going on. But it was probably my favorite experience, favorite memory from Sky.
Yeah, and music is kind of its own, reads your bias, but
This is exactly what I wanted to say, but the music is the language, one of the language. So even though the players don't have the shared, the common languages between players, but they can, connect each other in the game, or they can share their, feelings or emotions in Sky because they can connect with emote. We have a bunch of emote animations. So with emote, musical instruments, or even just being there together, they can connect each other in the Sky, right? So the language has the limitless possibility.
I'll throw this in before you get to what is going to be a long translation. I think the language of boogie is one we can all understand. Like when you use the boogie emote next to someone, like when you just walk up and you're just like, no, that's seriously like if someone walks up to you in Sky and just like randomly jams boogie, it's probably me. I just think like, look, that's like a very disarming emote and kind of gets everyone in the mood to socialize, right? Like when people are dancing, they're usually communicating in a way that doesn't really require language.
Okay, so that's going to be very long.
All right, I'll just go ahead. Go ahead.
そうですね。一番最初にこの配信でも言ったように、そのスカイっていうのは国とか言葉とかが違ってもこうつながっていろいろなこうつながることが体験できるゲームだとは思うんですが、そのレイカが体験した中ですごく印象的だったことっていうのは。
はい、数年前になんかベータ版遊んでたんですけど、自分の誕生日の日になんか夜中過ぎてちょっとこっそりスカイ開けてピアノを弾いてたんですよ。ハッピーバースデーを弾いてて自分で弾いてたんですよ。恥ずかしいですけどでたまたまなんか知らないプレイヤーさんが近くにいて。でその時まだ知らなかったんですよね。他の人が近くで楽器を開くとなんかどのキーを
押してるか
分かるっていうの知らなかったんですよ。でこの人がなんか私からハッピーバースデーの弾き方をなんか見て習ってで最終的にはハッピーバースデー弾いてくださったんですよ。はい。だから一言もなんか言葉は交わしてなかったんですけど本当に。数年前誕生日になんかハッピーバースデー弾いてくれた人も本当にありがとうございます。
どこかで見てるかもしれないですよね。あの時ハッピーバースデーを弾いた相手がレイカだったかもしれないです。
I'll try localizing my bit real quick in Japanese. I don't know if this is correct. Boogie sureba ii desu yo. If you boogie, it's good. Emphatically.
Boogie dance.
If you boogie. Yeah. Wow, this is great. Like, I should localize for all of you. I'm just much faster at it. Don't worry about it. It may not be right, but yeah.
言葉っていうのは本当にスカイの中ではいろいろなつながり方があって言葉がたとえ分からなくても感情表現だったりアニメーションだったり音楽だったり楽器だったりいろいろなつながり方が一緒にその場にいるだけでも心を交流して交わすことができるというゲームだというふうに思っています。でロバートが言っているのは言葉っていうのはブギーダンスのようなものだっていうふうにロバートは例えていてですねなんですかね重く考えないでブギーダンスで戻るようなカジュアルな気持ちでトライしてみるそれでなんか伝わったら嬉しいなっていうふうに考えるぐらいでいいんじゃないでしょうかってちょっと乱暴なまとめ方ですけどそんな考えでいいですかね。
はい。
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that was a long. You were right. That was a long multi-part translation. Yeah.
Whenever you nod, the crowd dancing.
I like to think that if I ever got angry, the crowd would be like, like shaking in rage too. But thankfully, I have the elder crab here to keep this crab in check. But yeah, I think, I hope out of this program, if you've never thought of studying a foreign language, or you maybe are someone who, has never run into a player who speaks a language in Sky, hopefully this little game show, this fun thing we did, will get you thinking about the fact that we have such a broad community, and people come from so many different places and have so many different cultures and customs and ways of life, that really it's like one of the coolest upsides of Sky is getting to learn about them, right? Especially in a time where traveling has been difficult to other countries and seeing other people. Like, you could always log into Sky and probably, like, if you go around talking to enough people, find someone who speaks a totally different language from you.
そうですね、スカイの、なかなかその旅行に行ったり旅をしたりするのが難しいことも難しい時代でもあったり難しい状況でもあったりするとは思うんですが、スカイの中ではその簡単に旅ができて、いろんな国の人やいろんな文化の人たちとつながることができて一緒に遊ぶことができるっていうのはすごいスカイの大きな特徴だと思うので、もしその中で言葉を勉強したくなったら勉強してブギーダンスを踊るようにですね勉強するのもいいですし、その気軽な気持ちでその交流を楽しんでもらえればというふうに思っていますっていうところですね。
Yeah, and on that note, I think that's going to do it for us. I think we're actually going to go ahead and just boogie on out of this stream. So I'm going to boogie on over to this thing that hits buttons. But yeah, thank you so much. If you stuck through for all the audio issues, thank you so much for being patient with us, and hope this ended up being fun for you.
最初の方、映像やちょっと音声の方で、不具合があってちょっとお見苦しいところがあったことをお詫びします。ごめんなさい。無事放送を終えることができてよかったです。この次もIs this the final streaming for today?
For today, we will have 3 more days of streams and Twitter Spaces. So, thank you for joining us for our first day. We got all the tech issues out of the way, so the rest is going to be smooth sailing.
本日の配信は、これで以上になります。ただ、東京ゲームショウは本日まだ始まったばっかり、あと3日間続きます。YouTube や Twitter スペースでもさまざまな配信番組を予定しておりますので、この後もどうぞお楽しみください。いろいろなゲストも登場します。
Thanks, Reika, for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me here.
Yep.
All right, well, are we going to do the Matane?
Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Matane!